Alright guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the rank 1 player of the EUNE server. This guy has about 1,623 LP at the moment, has an outstanding 70% win rate, while also playing multiple champions, and one of his want-to-go champions is Kale and Kassadin. This guy seems to be playing insanely well, and today we're also going to be taking a look at how he's playing the game, how he's carrying those games. So with that being said, guys, he's currently playing Kassadin mid up against a Twisted Fates. Let's quickly go over the runes that he's playing with. Let's lock him up. There we go. Okay, so the runes that he's playing with at the moment. Wait, do it once more. There we go. The runes he's playing with at the moment is a Fleet on Kassadin with Presence of Mind, with Tenacity and Coup de Grace. Also having the Eyeball Collection as well as the Ultimate Hunter with CDR Scaling, AP, and Magic Resist. This is the build that he's running in the most majority of his games. Alright. Let's figure out the way how he plays this game. Also, he's playing it against Twisted Fate, which is actually going for the Doran Blade. So that's probably going to be a AD Twisted Fate, which is going to be very interesting. We'll really see how he's going to carry against that, because that's actually this matchup for Kassadin is not very good at all, the pre-6, since Twisted Fate is going for AD. So let's figure out, like, how does he carry this game? How is he going to carry it? Twisted Fate is coming in a little bit late due to what happened level 1. This guy is taking the push against Twisted Fate, which is interesting enough. So he's going for the level 1 push on Kassadin, which is very surprising because all he can do at level 1 is throwing his Q multiple times. Eventually, like every time he goes for a CS, Twisted Fate could literally just pop auto attacks on him, and there's nothing he could do. So what exactly is he going to do to manage the pre-6? So most of the time, Kassadin players in general, the best way to play the pre-6 is to spam your Q as much as possible. Don't ever really use your Qs to go for creeps unless you really can't farm. But ultimately, most of the time, you want to be using your Qs only to poke your enemy. Now, in this case, he's using his Qs because he can't really farm at all. He still wants to take the farm, so he's using his Qs to take it. He's letting the wave drag in towards him. Very understandable because Kassadin can't really do anything at all during the laning phase up against a Twisted Fate who's going AD. Now, a couple things to know about this matchup is that Kassadin does outscale Twisted Fate insanely hard, especially after level 6 when he gets his ultimate. But especially around level 11 and 16 is where things really go well for Kassadin. The pre-6 is the hardest part of Kassadin. After that, it's getting a lot easier. Twisted Fate is trying to roam top while Kassadin is staying here to farm. He doesn't really care as much about following Twisted Fate at all whenever like top lane is fighting and he roams. He much prefer like giving away the entire pressure inside the lane, giving it all to Twisted Fate so he can just stay safe in the early game. While he does play in a counter matchup, he does play very aggressively in the pre-6. He knows that Xin Zhao is going for the river. Xin Zhao does go for the camp, so he was trying to like play super aggressive to make that Xin Zhao probably gank later on. He probably played really aggressive for the Xin Zhao. Gets another Q, like gets a little bit more poke off for the gank of Xin Zhao, except Elise is coming in as well, so the entire gank has failed so far. He's gonna have to teleport back later on. Starting off really bad for Kassadin. Twisted Fate actually gets the kill on the Xin Zhao because he made a pretty big mistake. So what exactly is Kassadin going to do? What exactly will he do to carry this game is what we're going to figure out. Elise is also coming in for a gank. So he will have to... This is probably one of the worst startings of what Kassadin could probably have. He's getting ganked insanely hard by the enemy team, like literally getting camped. Also being super unlucky to have a kill in the Twisted Fate. How exactly is he going to carry a game like this? Alright. He's going to go back to base right now. He accidentally he wasn't fast enough to push that wave. So the wave is now actually being pushed in towards Twisted Fate because of this. He does teleport for bot lane. Sees an opportunity. He's still level 5 though. He's not level 6 yet. He's still like halfway through. Instead of using the teleport to go mid lane to reset the lane, he rather goes bottom because he saw like an opportunity to fight. Except he didn't get any kills. That turns out really bad for him. As you guys can see, like whenever Twisted Fate does get close, he does always throw in a Q if possible. This is generally like the way how you want to play Kassadin. The Q is pretty OP in the early game. You can just like spam it over and over, and it's gonna do like ridiculous damage. Just like using one Q is okay, right? But if you spam your Q multiple times, it does a lot of damage. This is a really well play made by him. Before he got to level 6, he gone for like a very well trade right there. He pulled off his entire combo and then got to level 6 and ulted away immediately. Very well played. Despite being in a counter matchup such as the Kassadin into Twisted Fate, since he's going like AD, he does surprisingly well, especially because Twisted Fate already has one kill from Xin Zhao before. He's kind of like... Kassadin is completely losing the pressure right now, but this is due to the jungler also falling behind insanely hard. The only choice Kassadin has right now is to scale up or get like really good trades off with his Q. Twisted Fate is about to run out of mana, so he probably sees an opportunity to fight him. He can't really move up though, since there's absolutely no vision around the map. There's no ward inside the top, like mid river, but there's also no ward at all inside of the bottom river. So despite Twisted Fate being super low, having like no mana at all, he can't move up to fight Twisted Fate because of the entire vision he's missing out from. He wants to stay in for another wave to get his upcoming item. He can push pretty easily since Twisted Fate has to walk back. Kassadin's wave clear is pretty decent. You can just push away very fast. As soon as Kassadin gets the Rod of Ages, things in this game are going to get very easily. Like, very easy, I mean. So far, in terms of farm, Kassadin is behind of about 10 CS up against Twisted Fate. Also, his teleport is currently down, which is pretty bad for him. And he's also behind of like 1 kill, so... This is going to have to come down to... scaling up, since it's not necessarily that Kassadin is behind due to any mistakes. It's more that the teammates have been making the wrong mistakes as to how he got behind. This is why it's very interesting to see like how he carry himself in a game like this. He's using his ultimate to ult back just so he doesn't get hit by Twisted Fate. Goes in for the trade because he sees Xin Zhao nearby. He went in for the trade because of the Xin Zhao. They go for the fight for the 2v2. He gets the catch onto the guy. Also gets the catch on that guy, but does not get away. Honestly, pretty well played by Kassadin. He got like 2 kills out of that. It doesn't really matter if Xin Zhao died because he wasn't worth any gold. Xin Zhao is currently standing about 0-4, but he does still do like lots of damage. Okay. So, from the way how he's currently playing out the game, he tries to play as safe as possible, but whenever like a jungler, so whenever a jungler gets nearby, that's also the moment where he tries to force a trade onto the opponent, and then goes for the call for the jungler to come in and gank. So this guy has a lot of map awareness. He's always looking around his jungler, always trying to play around his jungler, and always proceeds to, you know, get to the fight first before Twisted Fate can. Even in this situation, despite Twisted Fate having the ultimate, Kassadin is able to get here first. Very well played. Gets all of the catches onto the enemy team. So despite being behind in the early game in a counter matchup, this guy reacts to the situation a lot faster. And this is also why they're winning it super hard right now. So he's currently playing Kassadin in a pretty aggressive way. He's not necessarily playing very defensive, but rather plays aggressive, especially in moments when when a jungler is nearby, his teammates are nearby, or when he thinks that he can take the opportunity. He also wants to push to try and react faster towards fights around him. In a matchup like this, he also uses his ultimate a lot to move backwards, so he doesn't take the trade from Twisted Fate. Plays down a very good ward for the enemy jungler, so he doesn't counter gank the jungler anymore. He's kind of trying to bait Twisted Fate towards moving up to him, so that Xin Zhao can get closer to him. Once again, this is something like, these are really smart ways of playing out the game. Generally, what most people do whenever a jungler is nearby, they try to move up and sort of like start a 1v1. However, in this guy's position, he always acts in such a way that a jungler is not even there. Around this time in the game, he's trying to pressure the lane right now, and then using that pressure to roam to different lanes. Even right now, he reacts to the fight a lot faster. He sees that Riven on top is getting chased down by Teemo, and since I was nearby as well, he tries to react to everything first before Twisted Fate can. So, despite Twisted Fate playing a champion that can roam so well, this guy always gets there first. His reactions are way faster. Honestly, pretty bad played by the jungler. He's having a very bad jungler at the moment, making way too many mistakes. But despite, you know, having a jungler not playing that well, he does catch up very well. He has so much pressure on mid already, except he hasn't been able to use this to snowball yet because of the jungler making multiple mistakes. He's getting the blue buff, so he could probably just pressure the lane a lot faster. This is also like one of those things. Junglers are supposed to help out the mid laner in cases like this, but in his position, the jungler is not really existing as much, so he has to take care of the blue buff on his own. He values the blue buff a lot, especially because this allows Kassadin to like pressure or push a lot faster. Seems like he's going for the side push. He seems to, around this time in the game, around 14-minute mark, he rather split. And this is because he has teleport up at the moment. The thing you guys gotta understand is like, whether you're playing top or mid, if you're playing champions like Kassadin that has teleport and you got teleport up at the time, you want to use this to farm up the side lanes, possibly trying to force the enemy to walk up to you. And as soon as a teamfight appears, just by using your teleport and trying to appear, making it a 5 against 4. Split pushing is a very good method to snowball games. Teleport is one of the biggest things about the game because you can literally turn something into a 5 against 4. It's the biggest summoner spell of the game, of the entire game. Much more important than flash or anything else. So the dragon is spawning very soon, right? Instead of going top, this guy rather goes bot lane. He doesn't want to lose the farm on bot lane since it's getting pushed in by Riven. Taking to the farm. This is okay because the dragon is spawning very soon anyways. If he takes the farm on bot lane, they could take the dragon afterwards. Goes back to base and to get the items. Now this is where things are very interesting in my opinion. Me as a top lane myself, I would never reset right now. At this point, I would not reset. He's trying to move top lane to take the farm on top, which is about to get missed. But the dragon is spawning at the same time, so a teamfight will definitely appear. Okay. So the intention of Kassadin right now, he wanted to walk top lane to farm, right? To pressure top so he could eventually teleport to the dragon and then force the dragon. However, in this position, his backport was kind of... It was not very well played. He could have saved up the teleport. Because if he decides to stay bot lane, he could have never used his teleport. He could have used it afterwards. Now he lost his teleport and he's forced to play around the team again. This is where things get really fun because Kassadin is now level 11. This is where he can spam his ultimate over and over again. And we're not even talking about level 16 yet. He sees Twisted Fate farming in the top lane. He knows he can take it. He knows he can catch him very easily when stack up his ults. He's going to try and out-pressure him in the top right now. He knows for 100% that he can 1v1 Twisted Fate. So he wants to push the lane. And then once again, the same thing like he did in mid. He wants to get the pressure, right? Having the pressure is the main key towards carrying. Possibly getting catches is part of it too. If you can get a catch, it would be even better. But maintaining the pressure is also very good. He's looking to get a Q off on him so he can maybe dive him later on, but Twisted Fate knows it. They're kind of like playing around the hero world. He wants to force it so he can continue to like pressure, get turrets. It's about the 18-minute 30 mark, so they have to take the herald. This is a good call by Kassadin because they can definitely take that for free without a problem. Even if the enemy team tries to fight for it, he could just walk in and kill them all. He spawns the... Since I took the Herald and then spawned it for the third right here, but that was not... That was bad. That was very bad. Gets the catch on Twisted Fate and then walks back immediately. He doesn't take any risks, guys. He could have technically killed Elise right there, but he did not take the risk. He much preferred to walk back and reset. This is all consistency, guys. Consistency in your games They are very important. I talk about it almost every day. The less mistakes you can create, the more you will climb in League. You want to be avoiding those moments where you go like 1v2. Unless you can 100% take them. But if there's a risk, you don't want to take it. He's trying to like play around his team right now. He's looking to get a catch because he's far too strong for this anyway. He wants to sidestep the Thresh Q, but got hit anyways. But he's going to be fine because he can ult like over walls. His ultimate is fully stacked up, so whenever a team fight starts right now, he could literally kill somebody with just a single ultimate. Still just plays around his team. He sees a wave in top, but doesn't go for this yet. Like this guy, this Kassadin plays very interesting so far. I won't lie. Gets another catch on the Elise once again under the turret this time. This allows the team to also take the turret and also have the pressure for the dragon later on. Very well played, to be honest. If this game kept going, he could have rotated towards the dragon and take that too. Honestly, he had a bad jungler. He played it very well. Very well played, Kassadin. Anyways, hopefully you guys have learned something. Do not forget to check out my stream if you want to see like Challenger, Ribbon gameplay and all that stuff. I'm streaming like 6 times a week, so don't forget to check that out, guys. Anyway, I am done for today. So if there's anyone that you guys want me to spectate, to to see some things from, let me know inside the comments. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys up next time. Peace.